Well, I like to challenge jurisdiction right now. I have the right to travel. You telling me I don't have the right to challenge jurisdiction right now? I, Rambo L, an executor and beneficiary of recited. I filed a declaration of non-citizenship nationality because I've done a name change. Rambo L is a man, people, but not a person. I was not operating in commerce, nor was I driving. Rambo was just merely traveling in my private property. I don't see an injured party. I don't know why I'm here.
This guy walks into court already drowning in his own fantasy world. And the moment he opens his mouth, you can practically hear the judge's patience evaporate. He isn't Mr. El Tadeno. He's calling himself Rambo Executor.
You have an attorney, sir?
No, I'm here by special appearance.
Okay. I'll put you in the private meeting room with the city attorney.
Your Honor, we've actually already met with Mr. Rambo L before. He was requesting a formal hearing on these two files.
Okay, sounds good. Formal hearings will be set for in-person appearance.
Actually, I filed a motion January 6th is when it went unanswered. I would like the court to dismiss this matter.
Okay, your motion to dismiss is denied.
How many days does the prosecutor have to answer my motion for demand for motion for challenge of jurisdiction that I submitted to the clerk, and I've served everybody, all parties. How long does he have? Because that happened January 6th.
I see it's a motion to show authority.
And also a demand for dismissal, lack of jurisdiction, failure to introduce evidence of an injury in fact, challenges jurisdiction of the court to prosecute. That was filed January 6th.
We only have one motion attached to the file. I don't see the other motions that you're referencing, sir.
It's timestamped by the court. I have it right here.
I see a motion to show authority, which the court has denied. And then there was a memo that was attached. There was not any other motion. I don't read via Zoom.
It's filed with the clerk. Everybody was served.
Mr. Staples, did you get a copy of the motion he's referencing?
I see a copy of the motion to show authority in our file. I don't recognize it as any sort of valid motion or pleadings, but I see a copy of it in our file.
Agreed. That's the same the court has. It's a motion to show authority. The other motions that he's referencing was not properly filed with this court or served as the court, neither the court nor Mr. Staples' office is in receipt of it. The motion to show authority was denied, is not in proportion with the Michigan court rules. It does cite, however, Luke 11:46, the King James Version, Luke 11:52, as well as some other articles and treaties. But nonetheless, as indicated by Mr. Staples from the Office of City Attorney, this is not a lawful or appropriately filed motion, and for that reason, it was denied before this court. But we will.
Well, I like to challenge jurisdiction right now. I have the right to travel.
An appropriate motion.
Beneficiary, universal overlord of his imaginary kingdom. He claims he wasn't driving, wasn't operating in commerce, wasn't even acting as a person. According to him, he was simply a free-range human traveling in private property. And instead of facing a simple citation for driving without a license,
with the court under the Michigan court rules to challenge jurisdiction. But what we won't do is entertain motions under the King James Version of the Bible. Okay?
That was a different motion you're referring to. That was the motion to show authority.
We don't have the other motion, sir. So you can file that motion. It's just we don't have it. I don't know why we only have one motion. That we don't have the other one you're referencing. So you'd have to file that and serve it on the city attorney. We'll give you time to do that. I'm going to set both of these matters for hearing, though.
I can't chill. You telling me I don't have the right to challenge jurisdiction right now? I want to challenge
file
jurisdiction right now.
You can file a motion for challenging the jurisdiction, sir.
I can't do a verbal motion?
No, you cannot.
So you tell me I have a right to do a verbal motion?
You don't have a right to do that. You're gonna file it in writing and you're gonna serve it properly on the parties that you're filing it against, okay, sir? March 14th at 10:30 in person at the court will be the date for the formal hearing, and then we'll hear any arguments on motions if necessary. Do you have any questions today, Mr. L? Okay, well, then you're all set. Thank you. Okay, you can have a seat. Thank you.
Officer Vanderwerf, would you state your name for the records, please?
Oh, you want to call him? Let me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Swear, man, no worries. Vanderwerf, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, Judge. So I was traveling southbound on King when I observed a pickup truck in front of me that was changing lanes, failing to use its signal. So at that time, I activated my overhead lights on the vehicle to initiate a traffic stop. And then I made contact with the driver, who was later identified as a Rambo L. In our contact, he ended up handing me a piece of paper. At brief glance, when I looked at the piece of paper, it appeared to have what I believe was certain MCL codes that the subject may have typed onto the piece of paper. When I had asked him for a driver's license or identification, he was not really very cooperative. I also don't believe I was provided any insurance. At that time, I decided to issue him a citation for failing to signal, changing lanes, and failing to display a valid license, and then also the license plate through the system was expired.
Mr. L, did you want to question the witness?
Yes. The document that you were referring to, it was a travel document. I was showing you I was traveling versus driving. I tried to explain that to you. And then you held me on the side of the road for approximately an hour. I requested a supervisor because they might better understand what I was doing, and you never provided that for me. Is that correct?
That's actually incorrect, because the reason that you were held on the stop for as long as you were is because I was waiting for a supervisor. So when I realized the supervisor was not there, I contacted him by phone, at which time he said he was delayed. And when I came back up to the traffic stop, I did ask if you wanted to wait further for a sergeant, and I don't believe that you did. And then you drove off when you were free to go.
Yes. Is it correct that I was held on the road for approximately an hour waiting for this whole encounter to end?
I do not remember if it was an hour specifically, but I do remember that the time length was probably, I would say probably close to that at the very least.
Well, it was an hour, and it caused me to be late for my son's banquet. And and I never got to speak to the supervisor. That's all the questions I have.
He decides to unleash a tsunami of nonsense. Bible verses, fake legal codes, right to travel, non-citizen nationality, and every Facebook lawyer buzzword you can think of. The judge tries to sort through the paperwork, but it's impossible to organize something that looks...
Okay, Mr. L, are you calling witnesses today, or did you want to give your own testimony?
I would like to, I have some, I have a defense, my motion.
Okay, well, you filed a motion?
Yeah, I filed a motion, served across the
When did you file a motion?
It was filed, it was mailed February 18th.
You filed a motion and mailed it February 18th. Did you serve a copy?
To the clerk of the courts and also to the city attorney's office.
Did you receive any motion, sir?
Your Honor, we did receive a motion. It did not have any hearing date stated on it. We had no timetable for a response. I would be happy to respond to the motion on the record orally or provide the court with briefing if they would like.
The court didn't get a copy of the motion in February.
I sent it to the clerk. And,
yeah, typically when that happens, it's just attached to the file. I don't have a copy of any motion.
Oh, bro, I did my due diligence. I sent a copy to him. He has his.
Well, I don't know that you did your due diligence because when you file a motion, you got to get a hearing date for that motion. And so
who's supposed to give me a hearing?
you got to get the hearing date from the clerk's office.
From the clerk's office?
Yeah.
So why did they give me one?
Did you contact them for a hearing date?
I contacted them, yeah.
And asked for a hearing date for your motion?
And I asked them when was my hearing. They confirmed that it was today.
For your motion.
And I asked, did I have a hearing date? And they said.
And you do have a hearing date, but that's not what I asked you. Did you ask them, did you have a hearing date for your motion?
For my motion?
Yes.
They didn't tell me, but I did provide to him an order for the motion that gave him 21 days to respond.
Okay, you can make your motion before the court because I don't have a copy. You can make it now orally.
Okay, well, now comes the beneficiary for Rambo L. Defendant in error, here by special appearance, not submitting to the court's jurisdiction, hereby moves the court to strike and dismiss the complaint filed by the officer Zenderbar. Am I pronouncing that right? Sorry if I'm not. For lack of ratification and commencement, no corpus delicti, no plaintiff, lack of jurisdiction, personal jurisdiction. Christina Simmons being appointed as trustee, the prosecutors being appointed as co-trustee, I, Rambo L, an executor and beneficiary of a set of account. Also, I filed a declaration of non-citizenship nationality because I've done a name change. Where my point of authorities are the United States District of Columbia Corporation in Volume 20, Corpus Juris Section 1785, we find United States government as a foreign corporations with respect to the states. Since the corporation is fictitious, is a fictitious person, it can't see, speak, smell, or touch itself. It's a fiction in the real world. It needs a conducting, transmitting utility, a liaison, some sort of connection to a fictional person. Constitutional Amendment number 1, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of a religion, prohibiting free exercise thereof, abridging freedom of speech or right of press or right of people, peaceful assemble, petition the government for redress of grievance. Number 5, Constitutional Amendment. The right of people should be secure in their person, houses, papers, in effect against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued upon probable cause supported by an oath or affirmation, particularly describing the place search of persons, things to be seized. And then number 7, Constitutional Amendment, suits at common law where value of controversy exceeding $20, the right of a jury trial shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States according to the rules of common law. I asked for a jury trial, I didn't get that. Rambo L is a man, people, but not a person. I was not operating in commerce, nor was I a driver on the road for travel. A driver is an employee transporting goods or passengers. Rambo was just merely traveling, and in my
Looks like it was printed from a YouTube conspiracy rabbit hole. And the moment his motion gets denied, this man activates Plan B, screaming about jurisdiction like he's summoning a legal demon. And just when you think he can't dig the hole deeper, he brings out the full sovereign citizen cookbook, corpus delicti, no injured party, foreign corporation, and even
some examples of my Supreme Court constitutional defenses. Number 1, I was not engaged in a commercial trade at the time of the alleged infraction, and I do not proceed to say a license is upon a constitutional detention. Motor vehicle means every description of a carrier drawn by mechanical power used in commercial purposes on a highway. There's neither injury nor trespasses, any trespasses. All crimes are commercial, 27 CFR 72.11, and every alleged crime has to be has to have a nature and cause and be prosecuted by the name of the people of the state. I don't have a contract with the state. I don't see an inter party. I don't know why I'm here.
No. Any additional argument on your motion?
I would like the court, I would ask the court to dismiss this to failure to state a claim where relief can be granted.
The court has heard the argument. I'm first address your motion, Mr. L, and I'm going to deny your motion as clearly indicated in the response by the city. Your claims would be most appropriately brought before the Court of Claims. And so you can't challenge a constitutional issue in this court, okay? As it relates to the authority and the process to bring this matter before the district court as it relates to your civil infractions, you have an expired plate and a failure to signal. Again, a jurisdiction or venue before this court is appropriate. This is a situation or incident that occurred in the area of South MLK, Martin Luther King Boulevard. That's in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan. And so you're subject to the laws and the ordinances of the city of Lansing, but also the laws under the Michigan compile laws. Here in this district court, we are subject to the Michigan court rules. And so, although I gave leniency with your motion, it was not properly filed and or served, but it also does not comport with the Michigan compile laws or Michigan court rules. And so for those reasons, it is denied. Now, as to the civil infraction, failed to signal an expired plate from December 3rd, 2022, we do not provide any valid dispute or defense to these civil infractions. You could have appeared and showed information that demonstrated you did have a valid plate at the time, or that you even have one now, which could reduce the citation, but that's not taking place. And so I'm going to sustain both violations of civil infractions. There's a fine of $125 on each. Okay, sir?
My next defense, am this done or can I say something else?
You can say something else. I asked you if you had any further defense, but you said.
My next defense would be, Michigan allows 72 hours to register any vehicle when it's first purchased. He never asked for anything. I never got a chance to explain myself on the side of the road.
Okay, do you have proof that you had just purchased it within 72 hours?
I don't have the title.
Okay, thank you, sir. If the defense is not meaningful, if you can't provide any evidence to support that defense. That being said, your fine is $125 on each file. When do you intend to make payment?
Do I have a chance to appeal this?
You can.
I would like to appeal.
Okay, you want to file an appeal? It's the civil infraction?
I want to file an appeal today.
Okay, you can file a motion for reconsideration. But you need to follow Michigan court rules, okay? We don't submit to the sovereign rules, okay? You take that to the sovereign.
To put the entire United States government on trial. Meanwhile, the prosecutor is sitting there like, sir, this is a traffic ticket. The judge walks him through the Michigan court rules like he's a confused toddler assembling IKEA furniture. But this man refuses to join reality. He demands jury trials, constitutional hearings. Bible love everything except the one thing that would have saved him, a valid driver's license. When the officer testifies, the Sovereign Act completely collapses. He wasn't detained unlawfully. He wasn't exempt from the law. He was just a guy with an expired plate, no license, and a stack of Google-printed nonsense trying to outsmart the legal system. And the judge's final line, absolutely perfect. Calm, sharp, and devastating. We don't submit to the sovereign rules. You take that to the sovereign court. That's the moment Rambo's fantasy world finally crashed into the brick wall of reality, because in real court, the law wins every time.
By the end of this hearing, the outcome becomes unavoidable. The court focuses on the actual facts of the case, a failure to signal and an expired license plate, two straightforward civil infractions under Michigan law. Despite the lengthy constitutional arguments, references to sovereignty, and claims about jurisdiction. None of those claims address the basic legal requirements for operating a vehicle on public roads. The judge ultimately upholds the violations and issues the fines, reinforcing a consistent message seen in courts across the country. Personal interpretations of sovereignty do not override established traffic laws. Cases like this reveal an important lesson about the legal system. Arguments must be grounded in real statutes, real procedures, and real evidence. Passion, belief, and confidence can't substitute for that foundation. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think the judge handled this situation fairly? Or should the court have addressed these arguments differently? If you found this courtroom showdown as fascinating as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns just like this one.